Hey everyone, Lainey here. So I wanted to tell you about a very interesting podcast I had the pleasure to be a part of. The name of this podcast is called The Science of a Podcast, and it's provided by Spreaker from iHeart. Now, I am a Spreaker fan and probably will be until the day I die because they have treated my show incredibly. I host True Crime Cases with Lainey and It's Haunted What Now on the platform. And I love the team behind the scenes. They've really helped the True Crime and Paranormal Podcast Festival that I co-founded. And they approached me recently to share my thoughts on the ethical consumption of true crime. So I had a really wonderful time being interviewed by Yvonne, who is the host of the podcast, and she is just incredible. She asks really great questions. She makes you feel comfortable as a guest, and I know that you will enjoy her as a host when you listen to the podcast. Now, obviously, I highly recommend this episode, not just because I'm in it, but because I really want to enforce a really powerful message and advice for you as a listener to really engage in the content that you're listening to and understand if it's, a podcast that is ethical or a creator that is ethical. Like, how does it make you feel, etc. And I go into a lot of that in this particular episode. Again, the name of the podcast is called The Science of a Podcast. Now, they've been gracious enough to lend me some of the audio, so you're about to hear a preview of the episode from The Science of a Podcast, and you can find it on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so on. So here it goes.
But as a listener, what are some of the things that I can do to be more ethical or respectful of what I choose to listen to?
So I think this is really a great question because Sarah Turney, who's another incredible advocate for ethical, consumption of true crime, she says, vote with your listens. So even if you listen to a podcast and you're like, wow, this is really great. You hear one episode or you hear another episode and you're like, oh, that's not so great. Stop listening. Mm-hmm. That's great. Don't share it with your friends. All right. So you just heard a small preview of The Science of a Podcast, and I hope that you give a listen to the rest of the episode. And again, you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. So Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And if you happen to listen to the episode, be sure to let me know so that I can hear what you think. And I may send you a fun little gift if you email me that you listened to the episode and what your favorite part of it was. Maybe some swag, etc. Some fun things to get you in the holiday spirit and excited to listen to the rest of the episode. All right. Thanks.